Okay, let's move on to displaying our other errors that we get from basically the 422 error. So we'll say if errors dot response dot status equals 422, then what I want to do is I basically want to cycle through all of those errors and place them in our alert box up here. So we need to push all those errors that come through. So we can do this. Last time we did this with object.entries. That's one way to do it. It works well. I use that a lot of times. But you can also do this with object.keys. And we'll say errors. So we need to get the keys of all of the errors that are coming through. So we'll say errors.response .data .errors. And we'll have to put that through a for each loop. So that's fine. And in here we can say error. Let's see here. We'll have to do, so this would be the key now under errors. So let's actually just put this as key instead of that, make that simpler. Then we need to copy this. I'll put the key in there. And we'll run another for each loop because we know that each one of those keys contains an array of all the errors for that specific input that we've sent across. So that's fairly simple enough there. So we can say error, and we'll just say this dot errors dot push is going to equal error, and from that everything should work from there. Let's give this a try here. So I'll refresh the page. There's two different errors we can fake here. So, I mean, if we leave both of these empty, they have to be required. And this one needs to be a minimum of 3. So let's see what errors we end up getting pushed back. Perfect. Okay. So the name field is required and the email field is required. So let's Tyson one at .com. And I'll just put 3 characters in. Okay. Name must be at least 3 characters. Okay, good. So we'll put that back to the way it was. We'll update that user. Great, everything's gone through successfully. Now, let's go ahead and try to update this user. Okay. We'll just say edited in here. We'll see what we come back with. Okay, and it looks like we're good. I'm just going to check my file here one more time, make sure we don't have any issues. Edit user. Okay, under watch, we can say this dot assign user to data. But you know, the thing is, it's actually not being watched because basically the component doesn't exist or it's not allowed to be displayed until it meets a condition of it's the active component from here and user's not equal to null. So every time we go back and put it to dashboard, none of these other ones are showing, right? So that's why we don't actually really need to worry about a watcher in there, but I'll leave the code as is for now. All right, so we got that figured out. With all of our errors, everything's updated properly as it should in there, so that's great. And I do believe, let's double check one other thing. I want to go to my update user request. They have to be an admin. Let's go to users controller update. I want to actually go to the users model. Okay, so again, user.php, app user.php is what that goes to. And I just want to see, so we have created, deleting, and we have updated. So updated, yeah. So very simply, we're going to add another event in there and fire off the logs. So we'll say updated user. Okay, that's great. Let's go to our event service provider. Okay, good. So again, app providers, event service provider down there. And we can add in here the ability to log anytime a user is updated. updated user. And in this case, I'm just going to listen in on just to be able to log the actual event. Users /logs /log updated user. Let's go ahead and generate those events. So PHP artisan event generate. And we're good to go there. And so let's go find our updated user events. So events /users /updated user. Now automatically it's going to send over that particular model. So we can say user. And just like we did before, we want to assign those public properties to those specific parameters we're sending through in the constructor. And we'll create some as well. So this would be updated by. It's kind of like we have created by and deleted by. And again, this is the way I like to. This is the way I typically like to do my stuff. What happened there? Oops. Okay, we'll say auth. I'm going to go Control Alt I. Okay, bear with me here. We'll say user, or we'll send across null. And then this dot dash updated at. I mean, we could take it from the user's model as well, but I'm going to send it through as a pretty date in here and not have to worry about using it in the multiple places I might want to use it, right? Hours, minutes, seconds. We're good to go. Okay, now let's go to the log updated user. Method in there. Great. So we'll say user log. We'll bring that in. And we'll say create. And we need to give it a user ID, which is going to be event-user-id. And let's get a look at that model here before we continue to update this. So we'll say user log. So we need to do a slug, which is going to be updated user. Message in there is going to be in brackets here, we'll go event dash updated by name, or if that's not found, maybe it was something we ran an automatic process, maybe a cron job or something, so there's no authenticated user assigned to it. We can just send in there not found, and then we'll say on updated at. And let's throw in some metadata here. I'll take a snapshot of the user as is. I'll say user. Oops. This isn't going to send the password across or anything because those are hidden values we put in there. But we'll say event dash updated by. And what's the other thing? Updated at. Let's say event dash updated at. Okay. Good. Let's just return true from this method. And we'll give this another go. All of our modifications were done on the back end, so we shouldn't actually have to refresh. But as a practice, I refresh because if we ever flash any errors from the user model, it's not going to come through here, right? So let's go ahead. We'll update this. We can just send it across like this. It's going to basically update it with the same values that were in there. And if we go and we look at Tyson London 1, and we go to the last page, it's not sending through updated user. Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll open up Telescope. So I have Telescope open up here. What you can do is just type in telescope/requests after 127001. I'm going to refresh this. Okay, and this is our error 500 right here. So if we look at the error 500, it says we have an undefined variable user. Let's go to the response here. And it looks like our issue resides in the log updated user. So let's see what's going on over there. So we're going to go down to log updated user. We'll go back to that one. And yeah, it has to come through the actual event in this case. Okay. So now it should pull into the metadata when we actually go and try to submit all of this. So let's give this a go again. We'll just send across the same details, no big deal. And if we pull up this in here, we should have, but we don't. That's strange. Let's check and see if we have any other errors coming through. No, it doesn't look like we do. If we go user log latest first, no, still we have from when we created our factory in there. Let's actually change some value in here. So to our main page, let's go back. I mean, I haven't really sent anything else across, right? So we'll just say edited. And here I'll go to update the user. Okay, user has been updated. And let's go back and see if that user's information was actually put into the thing. Okay, there we go. So updated user. So something even I was, I'm unaware of, I guess, is maybe if the user hasn't actually seen a difference in the model from the old to the new, it doesn't fire off updated user. That's my best guess here. But now we know that when the user is actually updated, a user log will be created. Take a snapshot of their profile, who updated them, and when they were updated at. So that is that for this one. In the next one, we're going to look at handling passwords.